Hi YouTube world, I am back with another video. Today I thought it would be fun as I've been seeing around YouTube and a lot of people are doing the top 5 everyday bag, and I thought it was kind of fun because it actually sparked some ideas and really think about my collection and what I really gravitate towards, and it's not something I think about every day, so I thought it would be fun for me to jump on that bandwagon here. Nobody asked me, nobody tagged me, but I just thought it was kind of fun. So I just want to jump right into it. The 5 categories that was covered is what is your number 1 everyday bag, which I already have out in front of me, so no surprises there. Number 2 is your work bag. What is your go-to work bag when you head on to work or maybe you travel for work? Number 3 is your rainy day bag. What is something hardy that you aren't afraid of getting wet or getting a little bit muddy if it happens to splash up on you, right? Number 4 is your travel slash fun bag. And lastly, what is your date night bag that you gravitate towards all the time? You have my Neo Noe Louis Vuitton here in front of me. This is my everyday bag. So this bag I got from Rebag, and I'm looking at my purchase history. I decided to let go of my Givenchy soft Antigonia bag in I think a medium because it just didn't work out for me. And of course, you've seen my entire YSL or Saint Laurent collection. It was all black bags. So I had another soft Antigonia black bag that I used maybe once or twice when I went to Paris. Really handy bag. My biggest pet peeve about Givenchy Antigonias is I'm not sure if you had this problem, but basically the hook is a little slit and it just slides right off, right? So that was a really big pet peeve. I would be wearing it crossbody and then all of a sudden the strap just comes apart and that really bugged me. I had the regular small Antigonia and then I also got the soft one in a medium in black with silver hardware, and it was the same issue. So I decided to let that go. Traded in with Rebag, and I had a 20% off coupon as well as some rewards that I've accumulated over the years where I could redeem it as a store credit. So I ended up only paying about $59 for this bag. So it was a great deal. And I've been eyeballing this bag for years and I never made the plunge. And it's also really perfect because I wanted the monogram with the red interior and the red leather straps. So there was a perfect buy. I love this bag. It's super versatile. You can feel more secure even though there's no zips. You can feel really secure because when you tighten up, it actually gets it very enclosed so that you don't have to feel like someone's gonna reach their hand in to grab your stuff. So usually I keep it pretty open so that I have easy access. And then you can see, I didn't know that they made inserts for it. So I wanted to get some inserts to keep the suede clean. So I was able to find this on, I think, Amazon. So I'll make sure I link that down below if you want to get some inserts for your Neo Noe, which is kind of cool because you can zip it up for any loose items or documents or anything important. You can zip this up pretty securely. So that's another way to secure this bag. And then for the other portion of it, there's tons of pockets that you can compartmentalize all of your stuff. And I just have my dress up your purse card holder, and then I would put my Dior cosmetic bag with all of my knickknacks, and I would just keep this open when I'm using it, and then if I want to, I can just zip up this portion of it like that. So very useful. It's a very easy grab and go bag where I can just put it down on the floor. I mean, it's canvas, so it's very hard wearing. The corners have done great. And what I love most about this bag is the strap. There's little buttons here that you can undo, and then it turns into a longer strap so that you can wear it crossbody. And then you just hook it up here and snap it in place, and it becomes a long crossbody strap. So it's super functional, super very smart of them to do this. So I really enjoy using this bag as my everyday bag. And then if you really want, there are D-rings, so you can purchase accessories to go with it. So if you want a top handle, you can definitely insert that pretty quickly and change the complete look of it. And then I put it back in place and it becomes a shoulder bag. This is what I usually mostly use it for, but when I was at the Costco the other day, I wore this bag and I had 50 things in my hand. Of course, genius me decided not to grab a cart. You know better to go to Costco and not grab a cart, because I just went in for one item and came out with like 4 or 5 items, and I stuffed one of them in my bag, the other one I had in my hand. So I really needed my hands free and not have this slip off my shoulder, so I turned it into a crossbody strap. So that is my first bag, which is literally my everyday bag. The second category is going to be your work bag. So which one do you think it is? Comment down below. If you haven't checked out my channel yet, definitely take a look. I try to do different kind of content, more unique videos, and of course my title, we're all somehow adulting, right? So I wanted to cover topics that can actually help you through my experiences so that you don't make the same mistakes. And of course, if there's anything that you like to purchase, now hopefully we can do it less than retail, but go ahead and hit subscribe and like this video if you are enjoying this kind of content. So back to this. My second category is going to be my work bag. So this is the gorgeous Louis Vuitton that I purchased not too long ago and now has become my go-to piece when I go to work, which I work from home remotely 100%, but I do travel quite often. And I recently did a video on how I pack for my travel trips, my work trips, if you want to check that out. I really got that down to a T. So if you want to check it out, maybe pick up a tip or two to incorporate to your routine if you do travel for work a lot. Again, my focus on that is taking care of yourself at the end of the night if you do those journeys for work. But in that video, I did bring my full lepage bag instead. It was my first time using it, so that's why I didn't incorporate that as my most used work bag. This is actually my most used work bag, which is the Louis Vuitton On The Go in the empreinte leather. So I wanted something really nice to go on my work trips that's very functional, very versatile, as well as not too flashy, right? So I've decided that I didn't want to buy any more black bags. I'm trying to get rid of them and sell them. But I figured if it's for work, this is something that is not in your face. It's still a really nice work bag, and if you know it, right? When people see it, you know it. But again, I work in an industry where it's all men, so who knows? This is obviously more for me. So I thought about getting On The Go in the large size, but it didn't quite work out, but because I felt like it was way too big and I would have way too much stuff in there. I want to keep it very simple and straightforward, so I am being forced to pare down to the essentials when I'm going for work. And I really like how there's the long strap, so that when you are at the airport, you're running around, you can easily just throw this over your shoulder. But then when you feel like you don't need it and you need something just to grab and go, or perhaps you want to turn this to a work dinner bag, you can easily do so by using just the top handle and put it on your nook of your arm. So I thought this was really useful and functional. So funny story with this one, actually. I bought this off of Poshmark, and this was a really good deal. I think I got it for around $2,200. I'll insert a picture of what they're going for right now because I can't remember off the top of my head, but I got this for about $2,200 off of Poshmark. It got verified by Poshmark, sent to their headquarters, and then sent to me. But knowing what I know, if you look at the logo here, If it doesn't say made in France or made in Spain, and it just has the Louis Vuitton Paris logo tag here, that means it is made in the USA. So in there somewhere, I won't dig it out, but there is a made in USA tag, but they do keep this just the Louis Vuitton Paris without the made in wherever down here. So you know this is made in the USA. Me being very suspicious and not trusting Poshmark's authentication process. The day I got it in the mail, opened it up, look at it, to me, after touching so many bags, looks real to me, but we know replicas nowadays are just incredible. So I immediately, the very next day, there's a Louis Vuitton store, not too far from me, about 20-30 minute drive. I got there, first thing, abandoned work, drove right to Louis Vuitton store and stood outside for about 10-15 minutes before they opened. I was like a crazy person just standing out there with a security guard looking at me. But I wanted to get in line and make sure that because this is a newer bag, so there is the microchip and there's no date code or anything for me to look at. So I got in line, ran in there and said, "Hi, excuse me, I would like for you to microchip my bag." The associate was like all smiley, and then she was like, "Oh, great, you're one of those people, right?" So she basically grabbed the scanner, and I think it was just a cell phone, but then they have like a special type of cell phone or program that can scan for the microchip. And the first associate that was helping me literally could not find it. She was scanning all over the place, like inside, outside, scanning. And after about 15-20 minutes, she could not find it. So she had to call for help. And one of the other associates had to come over, and she spent a good like 5-10 minutes trying to find it. And I think it ended up being somewhere around here, but it could be from bag to bag from what I understood from the sales associate, where I think it was just somewhere around here or here. So it ended up being fine. They found the microchip and basically told me the bag's real. Now, can you leave? Because they knew I wasn't about to buy anything. So I went on my happy way and went home and went back to work. But it was something I just felt more comfortable if I got it authenticated by the actual Louis Vuitton store. So looking inside, I got an insert for this as well because I wanted to make sure. Again, I've had this happen to me before, especially work bags. I keep a couple pens in here and it decides to explode. So I don't want that to happen to my bag either. So I just got a nice insert. Again, I got this from Amazon. So I'll make sure to link that down below as well because it is quite the perfect fit. I have a work notebook. I can easily fit that in there. And then here is my laptop. This is a 13-inch and it's pretty thin. I currently have a 15-inch for work, so it does fit pretty snugly, and I can't unplug it right now, but I just want to show you because most people have 13 inches, right? So I just want to demonstrate with a 13-inch. And it fits very, very well in here. So I usually bring a couple brochures with me, whatever, for work when I meet with clients. So there's plenty of room if I want to put a water bottle in here. And then I've got my cosmetic pouch that would just fit in here pretty easily. I've got my dress up your purse, and I can easily tuck that in there or just hang out in here. So again, still plenty of room. So I thought this was perfect because I didn't need the GM. The MM would just work perfectly fine for my uses for work when I travel. We're down to the third category, which is my rainy day bag. This is my rainy day bag. This is the Polene number 8. My first ever Polene, and I've been eyeballing a couple other ones, but we'll cover that a different day. But this is such a unique bag. Every time I wear this bag, I get compliments on it. Some people have said, where did you get that? it's such a unique shape. It looks like a sculpture. And I really gravitate towards this bag because one, it's functional. Two, I feel like it's almost indestructible. And three, it's at a price point where I feel like if it got rained on, I won't feel bad or, oh my goodness, I gotta grab a tissue and start wiping it off, right? So that's why I feel like this is an excellent rainy day bag. I love the construction of this. I don't see very many people out there with this particular bag. Most of the Polene bags I've seen is number 9, numero neuf, as well as the number 1, which is their iconic classic bag. Understandable, but I feel like this one's not as popular even for Polene, which I find kind of surprising, right? Because this is definitely a work of art. And same thing as you can see, I do like bucket bags where I can just stick my hand in there and start stirring for things, but with my Louis Vuitton Noe. But this one is the same concept, right? You can keep it really secure. And it's one shape, but then if you decided to open it up, it becomes kind of a different vibe. So I thought this was kind of cool. And I went for the larger size since I am 5'8" and a little bit bigger, and I do want something that I can just literally just toss in there. The small one would have been cool. My friend got the same exact one as I did, except she went for the smaller version. So I haven't seen it, so I'm curious to see the two of them side by side. But this has everything that the Noe has as well, where you have the adjustable strap. It's not removable, but you can easily tuck it in. I usually just leave it hanging, but then it also comes with the top handle, which is really convenient where you're just looking to grab and go. The interior is a suede lining. Sorry, my lighting is not great, so you might not be able to see very well. You know what? See if that helps. So hopefully you can see that okay, but you can see it goes pretty deep, right? So you can put a lot of stuff, which also is a con just because you gotta go stirring the pot, literally. Stirring the bucket in this case for what you're looking for. I don't think you can find a liner for this, which I completely think is unnecessary. Oh look, I got a bunch of candy wrappers in there. All right, don't worry about that. But overall, this is a really, really awesome bag. And I like how there's no logos. It's very low key, but then you can see the Polene logo right here. You can see the stitching is just amazing. One thing I really love is that it's got feet, right? For a $350 or $360 bag, it's got all of the details that you're looking for, which is the feet, and it even has the Polene logo on the feet. But I've been using this so much that the hardware, I don't know if you can see that, but the gold is wearing off a little, which not a big deal. You see that with thousands of dollars bag doing the same thing. So I'm not worried about it because it is designed for me to put on the floor. Normally I don't like putting my bag on the floor, but if I have to, I will. So this definitely does protect the bottom of the purse. And you can see how pristine this is. I definitely have gone out in the rain with this, and there is absolutely no stains whatsoever on this bag. There is a little bit of wear and tear, but you can hardly see it. But I think that could be just me with certain things I'm wearing, and it's just rubbing against it. I've had this bag for, I want to say, a year and a half, maybe almost 2 now. But yes, this is my rainy day bag. This is my throw around bag. Same thing with the Louis Vuitton, but more so this one just because of its price point. So that's the third category. The fourth category is going to be my Celine bag. So I got this, I want to say at least 3 or 4 years ago, and I love using Celine bags to go travel. So this is my Celine belt bag. So the reason why I like using this bag as my travel bag is that one, it's decently lightweight, and two, it's super stylish, very classic looking. Maybe just tuck this in here. Very classic looking, and it's very low key, right? You've got the Celine logo down here, and that's pretty much it. So back to the same story saying, if you know it, you know it, right? If you don't know it, it's not screaming Louis Vuitton, right? So that's why I like wearing this bag when I go out to travel. Or here, just to show you some of the mod shots. But this is an excellent, very durable bag. Again, this is me going on trains, me going up and down the stairs, lugging luggage around, and kind of just haven't been babying this bag, and it looks like it's still brand new. I do stuff it when I'm storing it, so that's why it's not completely flattened. Another thing I do want to point out, oh look, I still have the sticker on it. I am obsessed with keeping stickers on there for as long as possible. But I do just keep this flap kind of open. I don't, honestly, this is such a pain in the ass to like try to insert and then hook on. I don't feel like I need to because one, you've got to flip it open, which it automatically closes on its own, so it's not a big deal. But two, when I'm traveling, I do want a bag that does zip up, and the zipper is really, really smooth. So whenever I need to access my bag, it is very handy or very convenient. Kind of dirty in here. Probably need to get that cleaned up, but just an empty space here. Everything can just go fit in there. My bag, my phone, anything, and you usually don't have to go stirring too much just because there's only a limited amount of room. And it does come with a long strap, so I can wear crossbody and also top handle. Have you noticed trend? I mean, I do have plenty of bags, but the ones I gravitate towards are always comes with a strap and also has a top handle for versatility. Like sometimes I want to use this, sometimes I want to use that, but most of the time I do want a crossbody strap just so I can be hands-free. And the one thing I do want to point out is why it's another excellent travel bag is that it's got this zipper in the back and it's pretty deep so that you can put your phone in there, or perhaps if you're, like I said, traveling, you want to put your passport in here and then securely zip it up, and then this part of it is against your body, so it looks pretty secure. The other option is obviously you can put it into this portion right here, and then you have a bunch of stuff here, and then you can zip it up and it's still pretty secure. So this is my most used bag when it comes to travel or vacation. All right, last but not least, the fifth category is what is your date night bag? My date night bag is going to be my vintage beige single flap Chanel. When I got this bag, I was extremely excited because I love beige and neutral color bags that are not black, right? So, and then this bag is from 1994, and I've talked about it in my previous video, how they just don't make bags like they used to anymore, right? This bag is so old and yet so really in such great condition. The 24 karat gold it is just impeccable. So it's also nice to have the single flap because it gives you more room to put stuff in there. Again, let's just use these as the medium, right? I have this stuffed to the brim with gum, lipstick. I have like 4 of them in there. Tide pens, hand sanitizer, eye drops. I got a mirror as well. So this is pretty jam-packed in here. So I can easily put this here. And then also put in my card holder. And lastly, if I want to put this is an iPhone 10, I can easily put that all in there and still close it up securely. So this is a really nice date night bag. I usually have one of those bag hooks so that it's not sitting on the floor because it does not have any feet. This one cannot go crossbody. This one can only go shoulder, single strap shoulder, or double strap shoulder. And I do really like how on the back there is a back pocket that is big enough for you to easily put a phone in there. And that's not something you can find with a classic double flap, which is just a little, you know, Doraemon, if you know what I'm referring to, little pocket where you cannot put a phone in there. So I thought this was a little bit more versatile. So again, the leather, you can see it is aging. So at some point I might get this restored, but it's not doing bad. And of course on the back, it usually has more wear just because it's rubbing against your body. It's being shifted around. So that is to be expected. So let me go ahead and put all the bags back in here so we could take a look at them in one full view and wrap things up. So that took a minute for them to all fit in one frame here, one big happy family here. But these are my top 5 everyday bags. So hopefully you enjoy this video. And take a second to think about all your bags and which one you really reach for. You can see your sense of style and what you gravitate towards. So as you're making your next purchase, or maybe putting together a wish list, you can put together a list of pros and cons, and of course know what key features of a purse that you like, and make sure to kind of at least incorporate 1 or 2 of them in there, so that you're not making a purchase where you're just going to let go of the bag in, 5-6 months, or even after 1 or 2 uses. Believe me, I've done many times. So hopefully this was helpful. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Want to cover topics that will help you adult easier. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can live your best life and hopefully less than retail. See you next time.